So you just got water intrusion showing up in 3 units. How do I know that's if that's a maintenance issue that we just have to fix or a construction defect we can make the builder pay for?
Well, that's a good question, and that's a very common question. And the first sort of level of analysis is, well, how old is the project? If it's a 20 or 30-year-old project and they haven't kept up with maintenance over the years, and so it leaks because the deck coating hasn't been resurfaced and the flashings haven't been attended to. All right, well, it's time to bite the bullet and keep up with the maintenance. And you haven't been keeping up with the maintenance, so the building system's deteriorated, and that's why you got problems or roof leaks or whatever it is. But if it's a 5-year-old building, that's not from lack of maintenance. Maintenance doesn't correct original construction issues. And the building should be watertight. That's what the building code says, and that's what the building standards in California say. And so if a new building leaks and the statute of limitations is 10 years, that's going to be a construction defect. There aren't maintenance issues to keep the building watertight in that new of a project.
So if I have an 8-year-old building, am I still within the window? So is it 10 years the solid window after 10 years and one day you can't come back after them?
Yeah, for most claims, it's 10 years. There are some shorter statutes of limitations, some plumbing issues, and unit to unit noise transmission and landscaping and stuff. But the big ticket items, the water intrusion stuff, is all 10 years from the notice of completion. And so that's something the builder records when construction is complete. And a lot of HOAs don't know exactly when their 10-year clock starts, but that's something that we can check pretty easily. That's a recorded document.
So I have a kind of a question that kind of came to mind. Does it ever get sticky when you have a jurisdiction and then they say, well, wait a minute, we had this all inspected and everybody said that this was perfect at the time. So isn't the city liable? Does the city have some liability or the jurisdiction that you're in, the county, whatever?
Yeah, we also get that question all the time. The answer is no, not really. It's just a non-factor. Legally, the fact that it was, signed off and approved by the city is inadmissible anyway. Um, and the building inspector is just making sure everything's complete and you didn't forget to put the roof on or forget to put the windows in and it's habitable to issue a certificate of occupancy. So we can't use it to say, well, neither side can use it to say, as part of the claim or defense. The building standards are the building should be watertight, balcony shouldn't leak, roof shouldn't leak, and so forth. And so, if there's some leak, and the builder doesn't, or the building inspector doesn't inspect every single balcony and every single window in a 200 or 300 unit project, they're just not
Right.
going to touch everything.
So if the builder comes out and already has done some repairs, does that close the claim or can we still go after him?
We can still go after them currently. So it's interesting. So in California, the builder has a right to repair. So if you have construction issues, the balconies leak is the example I keep using, or the roofs leak, or whatever it is, you give notice to the builder, and the builder has a right to come do inspections, and they have a right to come do repairs. And if they don't repair everything, or if their repairs are deficient, then you can still bring a claim against them. They don't get a release just because they came and did repairs. There's actually a bill pending in the legislature here in California to change that. The building industry drafted that would allow them to have this certification process for the building and a right to come do repairs. And then 1 year after that, your ability to bring a claim would be cut off. The original draft of the bill would result in a release if they did any repair, and you can't question the repairs they did. Now there's a 1 year waiting period before the claim is cut off. And the concern is, especially with the original version, all right, well, you've got, 200 leaking balconies and stucco cracks everywhere, and the builder comes and puts a coat of paint on it and calls it good. And now you can't go do anything. They don't have any motivation to really fix anything if the claim's cut off. So
Hmm.
we were able to, and I work with some trade industry groups, that do some meeting in Sacramento with legislators and talk about pending bills for the HOA industry. And we're able to get that 1 year period at least to check and make sure everything's going to work. there are still some pretty serious problems with that bill. But we'll see how it goes. We've got a few more months to tweak it before the governor has a chance to sign it into law.